This is the nation's capital. Think of Washington as one big dinner party. There's a lot of talk, and maybe every so often, some action. There's a lot of chatter about America's energy future, and NPGA has secured a valuable seat at the table. We started the Propane Caucus, a bipartisan coalition of over 50 members of Congress from 23 states and counting. They support legislation that ensures the continued viability of propane. The coalition is growing. We made it easier for all Americans to use propane when the President signed into law a permanent reduction in the propane auto gas excise tax rate. So what will this change do? It will alter the calculation for excise taxes on propane, so it's based on energy content, not a volumetric calculation. Lower energy content, lower taxes, more propane auto fuel applications. We joined forces with our friends at Airlines for America and Valero and successfully petitioned the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to change the way shipping rates on products pipelines are determined. What does that mean for the propane industry? Pipeline shippers are now set to save $190 to $200 million over the next 5 years. We worked with allies in Congress to support an independent review of the DOT regulatory burden currently placed on jurisdictional propane systems. And for bobtails, we convinced DOT to extend the requalification period from 5 to 10 years, saving the industry $500 million. We also changed the 34-hour restart provision so that 2 consecutive 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. periods aren't required. We convinced the federal government that odorant testing at every transfer point was an undue burden on retail distributors, and the industry is set to save $400 million annually. By successfully lobbying for a permanent extension of the increased Section 179 small business expensing limits and an additional 5 years of bonus depreciation, NPGA continues to win for small businesses. When the government announced plans to reduce CO2 emissions from existing power plants, we made sure propane would be an alternative as states submit compliance plans. For example, with the FAST Act now law, state agencies will be encouraging alternative fuel vehicle corridors, including propane. NPGA persuaded Congress to fund DOE research on direct injection propane vehicles and small-scale combined heat and power systems. NPGA worked with Congress to pass an extension of the Alternative Fuels Credit and Alternative Fuel Infrastructure Credit, encouraging residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial consumers to purchase equipment that uses propane. We're fighting to resist subsidized natural gas expansion into propane country, and the propane industry has tallied wins in New Mexico, Maryland, North Dakota, and Virginia. So let's toast to tax relief, increased certainty, valuable research dollars, and regulatory relief to our industry.